Okay, finally making the another Android video. Yes, I've been doing a lot of researching and fiddling and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a little while, um, and yeah, it's kind of a mess actually, and it's sort of annoying. And everything's always messy. So anyway, I have been doing some browser checking to see. You can do these like slideshows. So this is like an old website of mine, kind of uh, iffy artistic art. um, anyway, but it's basically just it rotates images, and it's working pretty well. Except I just in Firefox this bar won't go away, so I have to see if I can get that to happen. Um, but yeah, some of the older applications I had aren't working, or which is good. So there'll be something to work with in terms of doing applications inside the browser, which I find a little more interesting than actually writing applications, which seems incredibly cumbersome in terms of the architecture you have to write on top of. So I did do some of that. I did this rootkit thing. I rooted um, a device that doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I could afford to kill it if that's what happens. But I didn't kill it, so that was good. And but I haven't really figured out to what advantage I can put this rooting thing to um, yet. I mean, but maybe once I start digging around in the files, I'll see some sort of language I understand, and I'll say, "Ooh, I can change that," or "I can change that," and that will somehow mean something. But so far, it's not been too interesting so far. But this working is good. So anyway, I had to do other sites that have worked. Vlogodome, of course, does work. Um, but this game does work. It doesn't in Firefox. It's not resizing, so I do have to get it to resize because I think it did in Chrome. Well, I have to do a test on the same game everywhere, but it does work. But the size is small, so gotta make it bigger. But so that's kind of good. And if I get something to match here, the blue thing was here. Blue thing. Oh, that's not a blue thing. All right. Well, there's a blue thing. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So I mean that works, and I didn't have to touch it. It's this is like way back from 2001. Yeah, so it's pretty far back, and it still works. So that's pretty good. Anyway, and so the one I'm really interested in modifying in the short run is it says it doesn't always work. This scrolling thing ends up clicking when you're not wanting to click something. But this life game also does work, but it just doesn't size. So I have to get it to properly size, which might be a problem because I might have it all stuck in the images being a certain size. So, well, anyway, hopefully I won't have to engineer a solution. I mean, of course you can do this make bigger thing. Well, you can see, but then it makes it too big. Yeah, and you have to say, I want it that size. But yes, it's got to do that automatically, or people will say, "Hey, it sucks." So I have to get it to do that automatically. So this is one I did for the town back when I was a citizen of the town. You just go around the board. Different things happen to you, and you buy and sell property like Monopoly in a way. And when you get 5 or 6 minutes into the game, you start getting. So you can do gambling here. Let's see, 10 to 1 for 200 points. Let's see if we can get 200. Now you lose 90. Yeah, that's a risky bet for only somebody in desperate straits. You should almost have a negative score, but he doesn't. Anyway, so it does work. Is the point? Which see now this. All right, so I'll have to figure out what I did. Oh yeah, I resized it. See, if I resize it, then the bar hides. So that's the irritating thing. So if you force something to scroll, then the bar will disappear. This title bar, which is really nice. But if your standard page is the right size, the stupid bar stays there. Anyway, there's just little things like that. So there's a ton of all these little things. Yeah, I haven't really found any apps that are terribly interesting yet. But yeah, I just find the structure of this thing pretty good. You know, these backgrounds are really great. You know, these active, whatever you call them. But there, you know, this one is really, come on. You know, whenever I want to do a demonstration, right? Nothing works. Yeah, this spectrum thing is really something. So come on, do your thing. Come on. There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, awful likable. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it moves. You can fiddle with it as you move your finger. So that's pretty cool. I guess you don't really have a choice. You kind of set it as, well, I guess you can go back. Yeah. Alright, so I'll keep the leaves for now. But yeah, not a whole lot of great, you know, functions. I mean, the camera, I want to try to do the camera thing with a root thing. You should be able to, I might be able to get to the camera, so the camera feed to an FTP, so it just keeps you know, like one of those cam things. So that might be interesting. You know, where you could just do a 24-hour, you know, slow frame rate kind of video cam thing or something. That might be interesting, you know, from one of these pads. That would be pretty interesting if you can do it. And it's also interesting, you only use 11 watts, which isn't bad. You know, the battery isn't, it's pretty, these batteries are pretty good, and this is a Nextbook, and you know, it's frankly got a really pretty good battery. You know, it goes well over an hour charge, but you know, it takes 4 or 5 hours to recharge, and it does work off the charger fairly well, where some of them I've played with haven't, they're not very, it's almost like they use more than they can absorb from an adapter or something. But in theory, it's only, you know, 12 watts, 11 watts, very small amount of electricity. So, you know, it's pretty good. Then I did mess around with the keyboard. You get these whole mini keyboards and you plug them in, and it does work. You just have to figure, see, there's no like good website. You look it up on Google and you get a bunch of websites that talk about you can do this and you can do that, but no one just lays out how, you know, what the functions are, you know, because it's, you know, you'd think, like, when you're caught up in this top bar, you think, well, tab would get you into these other sections, but it doesn't. You have to use the menu button. So you guys use the menu button in combination to navigate around. Then the arrows will work, and then you can, but you can navigate pretty well with a keyboard, you know, instead of touching. And it actually, you know, works pretty good. So that's also interesting. And so I'm going to get a mouse, you know, a little wireless mouse, try that, see how that works. So yeah, so far, yeah, it's very interesting. So I've gotten this to start up, you know, because I've used an application, so it doesn't have the locking screen, and it just automatically loads, you know, a web page of my choice. So it basically just auto loads whatever the last thing I had, whatever the tabs are in the browser, it'll auto load whatever that would be. And it's been Vloggerdome lately. And so, you know, very interesting. So the other thing is, if I can get the FTP thing to work, then I can be uploading this from the tablet with, you know, tablet stuff, which might also be interesting, you know, especially if I can get to just upload images from the tablet. Yeah, that might be interesting. So, you know, there's lots of stuff to work on. You know, it does generally work. I haven't really tried the alarm clock in here. And that wasn't, you shouldn't have done that. You rude bastards. Come on. This tapping thing is supposed to go back. It's not supposed to get bigger. Come on. Play correctly. Jeez. Okay. I guess it thought I hit, too close to the, whatever you call that. Too close to the, whatever you call that. Too close to the edge, and I guess it did the scrolling thing. So anyway, there now it's put the 10 o'clock thing. I should move to 60. That's not working. It's staying at 10. It's not counting, it's not doing anything. I think it's just messed up, so I will reload the page. Just got messed up because of whatever. Yeah, I clicked the link C, that went to 60. Now if I click on it, it should open the window, and I can just type in something else. I'm typing on the computer. There's another keyboard. I have to find it. It's under some sort of hidden place. Some kind of googly thingy somewhere. So you don't need to do this number switching thing. And, which would be, kind of nice not to have to do that. I said, okay. I typed enter. That should be okay, right? Isn't that how it works in most places? Come on, you bastard. I gotta do it over again. So it's little things like this where you just say, okay. You gotta learn not to say enter then. Ugh. So that's sort of annoying. But there's lots of little things that are annoying. But generally speaking, this works pretty well. I like this. And I'm just thinking there's got to be lots of innovative ways to take advantage of it. Simpler interface devices even. It's like the plug-in for the keyboard. There should be like a simplified keyboard for maybe tablets. Just like a gamer's little watch, gamer's watch that would just have the left, right, up, down menu buttons and such, and so you could just basically navigate the tablet, and play games, which might be interesting. They could do that fairly easy. Really could. So let's see, this should load. See what it does. It's probably not going to auto load music because I haven't. Yeah, it does. So it actually did work. Obviously, the alarm clock function really wouldn't work for a tablet because you have to leave it on. But it's not an impossibility either. Come on. It's got to catch up, I guess. Buffering or something. See, it does have these imperfections. You're just like, yes, that was very nice. You played 14 seconds. You really need to do a little better than that. Yeah. It appears to be frozen. So way to go, Firefox. I mean, it's Firefox's fault there, right? Can't really blame anybody else. Yeah. I guess they knew it was copyright music. Is that it? Reload it. Let's see what it does. I mean, it's showing that it's buffered way the hell up here. No real reason for it to stop there. No. Alright, made past the 14 this time. There you go. Thunderdome music. Okay, you don't need to see that. Fairly uninteresting. So, it's working now. Let's see, it shouldn't take more than one click to make something work. It should just work. So anyway, the point is this is doable. You just have to try to make something that's bug-proof. So anybody who's got any links to, like, I would love to find a place where you can just download the APK files, without any bullshit. I mean, I hate the Google Play thingy store or whatever the fuck it is. I want the files, and I want to be able to move them from one device to another device on an SD card. I don't want to do this Google thing. And then you go to these other sites, and they're just so bad. I mean, they don't, the websites are so slow. CNET, of all places, just horrible. But it ran so slow. You're just saying, well, how much malware are you putting on my computer? I mean, why is this moving so slow? And they don't differentiate between paid and free. You can't tell till you click on it. What's the point of that kind of crap? And then when you do it, you click on it, and they take you to the Play Store. You're just like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not at CNET to go to the Play Store. I mean, fuck you people. So anyway, so yeah, I haven't found a great place where they just have a bunch of APK files. Just a bunch of just sitting there. APK files. APK, just sitting there. You download them. What's complicated? I mean, if it's free, why wouldn't people want to distribute these things in some manner where you can actually just get to them? You can actually download it, and if it's any good, then I'll pay you. But, you know, same routine as everywhere else. Or you'll have your commercials built into it, or whatever you fucking do. But I'm not going to download your shit if you're going to make me go to the Play Store to do it. Fuckers. So anyway, that part's all disappointing, and it just seems like this is just ripe for hackers. Are going to just rip this shit to pieces, I think. You know, so we'll see what happens. But who knows? Especially this rooting thing. You know, I just don't have much confidence the rooting thing is a good idea. Don't have any confidence that it has any use yet, because I haven't found the use yet. But anyway, maybe it does something really great. So yeah, I wanted to, like, I learned, like, say I learned this, I learned that, and all I learned is that you can't trust any site. Even the rooting thing, right? I went to 3 or 4 different sites, and then you find out their files are no good, or they're still not linked to them, or some other thing's a problem. And then you do some one-click thing, like this thing was all supposed to be one click, and then you find out you have to get the you have to get Google's driver, and then when you get Google's driver is to download a preposterous mountain of crap. You have to get Java development kit, and then you have to get the Google add-on to that to get the stupid driver file. Why can't somebody just put the driver file online so I can just download the driver? I mean, it was just stupid. But it's that's what I've run into. It's just miles of crap like that. Stupid little browser things like Firefox. You couldn't save a file. There was no save function. But you can get a save function as an add-on. So if you go to Mozilla, they have little Android add-ons, and you can add on the save function. And it's just like, well, why should I have to do that? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, yeah. So I don't have any real. I wanted this to be a better video, but it's just I've been, it's just been a lot of work, and then I had to, doing this, and I haven't been sleeping, and it's just been tedious, and so I just haven't had any time. But yeah, I see potential in this. I just haven't got anything done yet. I mean, anything real. I mean, I've got the part done when I figured out how to make some of this shit work, but that's just, yeah, I haven't gone as far as I need to go yet. So anyway, that's probably enough. Yeah, there's all kinds of good uses here. I just, all kinds of. I'm still liking this new design of this thing because I got all my eBay searches in here now, and it's just so convenient. I mean, I know it's just like a bookmark, but it's always there. It's just, it is much nicer. And I can do other things, of course. So anyway, I think that's enough. Yeah. All right. Until the next video and such. The timer resets to 4 minutes. So it worked. It turned it back on again. So good for it. Anyway, yeah, till the next